June, we got the Page of Cups. And so June is, I don't know, this is kind of cool. June seems pretty vibey. I mean, we got the water element going, and June is definitely, I relate it to like a watery month. It's a bit Piscean, okay? It's a bit dreamy, a bit creative. But I wouldn't say like delusional too much. I feel like you're going to be pretty grounded, pretty rooted. Either way, the Page of Cups does speak about a new beginning of some sorts. It has a lot to do with your emotions and with your mind, and a lot of self-reflecting here, okay? A lot of questioning yourself or questioning your existence, okay? There's a lot of going over the details I'm getting. So this could be in the religious or spiritual aspect, or any other aspect in your life that is coming up for you at this time that's pretty important to you at this time. I feel like for some of you, you're gonna be a bit distant or not really reliable. Okay, you yourself seem pretty grounded and rooted, but I feel like maybe too grounded and too rooted. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you're gonna be kind of wishy-washy, okay? And it could just be because you're just flowing, okay? And you're just so focused on yourself and your goals that you're not really thinking about other people. I mean, which is okay as long as you're not being neglectful towards other people. But if you're neglecting other people, then you're likely neglecting something within yourself, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. But it's just like you're unreliable because I kind of feel like you're just in your own little world. You're kind of just, and I don't want to say unreliable like in a negative way, okay? I don't see this as a negative thing because it's for your greater good that you are unreliable for some other people or a situation. But you do want to be careful, okay? Especially if you cut ties last month and it's like other people are aware of it, okay? Like, and the people you want to keep around, you want to make sure that in some way that you want to let them know that you want them around in some way, whether you are just upfront and direct about it or you just, you know, continue on with the relationship you have with this person as if nothing ever happened, okay? Because people are aware, people are watching. You know, we got the World card for January, and it has the four angels of the four corners of the world. And, you know, I see them as like God's guardians at his gate. And so like you are being watched. It could just be divinely. I mean, the angels could be watching the higher, whatever it is. Like there's so much out there in the world, you know, like I believe the planets are gods. And if maybe not so much real life like gods, archetypally they're gods to me. I mean, rightfully so, they're named after Greek gods. I mean, it's just kind of like a no-brainer, right? Like there's a reason why the planets are named what they are. I think we should pay attention to that and to the mythology of those names and those and whatnot. But anyways, I feel like going back to what I was saying, it's like, you know, I kind of just, I don't know. It's just really interesting vibes going on with you guys. It is very Piscean. Like you guys are, the thing about Pisces, which I'm really familiar with because I'm a Pisces moon, you know, it's we are in our own world, we are in our own heads, and so often we forget that our world isn't the world, you know, and we can get lost in life, and we could also be delusional, and that's where the delusional side of Pisces comes in, or if even Neptunian energy comes in. It's like you can make up and imagine anything. You could perceive life in any way possible. You know, we could justify bad things because it was, you know, whatever, like revenge. People like to justify revenge and think revenge is totally cool, normal, but you know what I mean? Like, so it's like you kind of create these constructs of reality that fit to your existence that fits your frame of consciousness. And so it's easy to forget that there's a whole world out there, you know, that society doesn't necessarily see it the same way you do. And that's fine too. But I think that's the challenge of living a spiritual life, especially in the modern world, especially in Western society, especially in America, where it's like essentially you got to go work and pay taxes, you know, however that looks in your life. You know, it's not very spiritual to do such things, right? It's not very whatever of you to do that. And so like that's the reality of things. But like you could have your own world within yourself that is complete opposite of that reality. And like I see that reality as a matrix. I think going to work paying taxes is bullshit. Like this is a matrix, you know? But that's just me. Some people think this isn't the matrix. They think something else is the matrix, you know? And so yeah, I'm I don't mean to drag these messages, but it's just like that's kind of like the nature of June here. It's kind of just like maybe you're going to come across individuals whose worlds are completely different than yours, and for some reason you have to adjust to that. You have to work with that. So it could be like a coworker that you're working on a project with, and like they're just so different than you and think so different. And it's like, how are we going to see eye to eye when I can't even see them, you know? And so it's something to work on in June, I feel. Okay, it'd be interesting to see what comes up because I'm recording this in January, so this is pretty far out from us. And so it'd be interesting to see what actually does come up in June for you guys. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you believe, and you know the world that you live in. And that's going to be challenged in some way in June. Okay, or maybe your challenge is to somehow make that like the reality, okay, at least in your life, to where it's like, you know, to where you can live to your standards among society, which is really deep. It's a really deep message. It's like, you know, you're trying to make your world the world. Okay, so there's a lot of alchemy going on here. There's a lot of like maybe even like timeline jumping. Okay, there's a lot of like just implementing something into the world. It's very powerful. It's very magical. Okay, it's some magi shit right here. It's gonna be different for everybody how it's gonna look. So that's what we got for June.